Hey YouTubers, it's your girl Kathy here again, your fashion designer, your seamstress, with something a little different today. Instead of showing you a dress that I've already made, I'm actually going to show you the process of me making the dress and then the end results. So I'm going to need a couple things for this project, and I'm going to use this really nice fabric. It's this yellow and white striped fabric, and it has black flowers at the bottom. It's just beautiful. I'm also going to need a scissors for this project. And I'm going to need my tape measure. That's about it. I can't think of anything else that I would really need for the project. Of course, my sewing machine. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut out the top part of my dress. And then I'm going to cut out the bottom part to the dress. So we're going to go ahead and cut out the top part right now. So I've gone ahead and cut out the top part of my dress. If you're doing this project along with me, at home you can take one of your tops, put it on top of your fabric, and cut it around, and you can get the top part of your dress like that. However, in this case, I've used a pattern. And I simply took my pattern, placed it on top of the fabric, and I cut around to get the top part of my dress. So I have the top part of my dress already, and here it is, the top part, the front and the back. And my next step now is to make the skirt. So stay tuned for me making the skirt. Here we are to the skirt part of the project, and we're going to make some pleats in this front of this skirt. And so I've already gone ahead and made a pleat, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. So we have our fabric for the skirt, the rest of your fabric that you would have, and we are making inverted pleats. And so you take the first part, I've already made this if you can see, you take the first part of this material and you pull it in a little bit, just half of the way. You pull that part in, and then you take the rest over here and you fold it over to meet that part. When you have it all meet up, you press down your pleat. So this pleat was basically partially made, and we're going to go ahead and make another pleat. Make sure your iron is hot and you press it for some time, and you can see our pleat. You can see the pleat has formed. So we're going to go ahead and make another pleat. These are inverted pleat. Move your material over just a little bit. And we're going to take our fabric, get some of the fabric over. And you determine how wide you want the space between your pleats to be. I don't want mine extremely wide. So I'm going to fold it here. And because I have stripes, I want to make sure that my stripes are also lining up. So my stripes are lined up. I folded it. And I'm going to put some pins just to keep it in place until I fold over the other part. And I'm going to make the inverted pleat, the double pleat. We're going to bring this part over until it lines up with the other pleat. And you fold it, it's folded, fold it over, and you pin it so that it'll stay in place before we can iron it. You also decide how long you want your skirt to be, how long you want your pleats to be. And we are about to iron this down. So we're about to have our pleats. So now they're all together, and we're going to iron this. So we're going to take our pins out as we go, and we're ironing down those pleats. Take our pins out so you don't get yourself burned or stuck. And we iron the pleats down. And there we have it. Once again, we've got ourselves another pleat. Here's the other pleat. You will see it very clearly. There's another pleat in our skirt. So we're going to keep that pleat. And we're going to take this material and we're going to pull it over. And we're going to do that again. So you continue to do yours, and I'm going to continue to do mine, and then I'm going to come back with the next part of this skirt. So continue making your pleats. So this is the top part of my shirt, and if you look closely, you would have realized that I added a couple darts here because you want to make sure that you have a perfect fit. So I've added a couple darts, and you want to make sure that you pull in your darts enough so that you still have the length of the waist of the person that you're making your dress for. So this is for my niece, and her waist is a size 31. So I've pulled in my darts enough so I'll have enough seam allowance, and I'll have her waist here. So we have the darts. So we're going to sew these darts down first before we sew the top in the front part of your shirt and in the back of the top part of your dress. And then when we're sewing the dress down, we want to put right sides together. So here's the right side of the top. Here's the right side of the back. We're going to put right sides together. We're going to sew down the seams. Give yourself enough seam allowance at the side. Sew down the seams and on top of the shoulders. So I'm going to go do that. You go sew your seams and let's see how it all turns out. Okay, YouTubers, so we're nearing the end of our project, and I failed to mention a couple of things earlier. Firstly, I went ahead and I sewed down the side of my top, and I probably mentioned that we were going to sew down both sides, but we're not, because we're going to leave this dress open with a zipper on the right side. So we only wanted to sew one side of our top down. The other part of our top should have been left open for our zipper. Then secondly, I also failed to mention that I am using 100% cotton, and when we're dealing with pleats like this, the best material for pleats is cotton, or maybe you can use some kind of taffeta, any material that's a little harder in texture. So 100% cotton or even taffeta would be great for this type of a project. Then I also went ahead and I got my skirt and I sewed down the side, one side of my skirt. So I sewed it all the way down, sewed the seam down. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is take my top and my skirt, put them right sides together, and the seams that I have sewn down, so the seam on the top and the seam on the skirt, I am now going to find those two seams and attach them together with a pin. Secure them with a pin. So here's my top, and inside is my skirt, and I'm going to secure that seam with a pin. Here's my pin I'm putting in there. And what I'm now going to do is to pin all the way around the top and the skirt, and then that's where I'm going to sew. I'm going to put pins all around here, and then I'm going to sew this top to my skirt. Okay? Okay, YouTubers, so here's my final product. Here is the dress we've been working on. You see the top part, the boat neck top neckline, and the pleated bottom skirt. And that's how mine came out, and I can't wait to see yours. So if you've done this project along with me, add a picture and let me see how yours came out.